When you begin to use Google Docs more and more, you're going to find that your list of documents is going to become quite long. For example, in my Google Docs All Items, I have 67 different documents. Now, you can choose to keep that view and scroll through 67, 80, 100, 150 different documents each time to find a particular document. Or you can organize your documents into folders, which allows you to be able to have the documents that have similar topics all in the same place, and it makes it a little bit easier to find things. So for example, here in my folders, I have like 8 different folders in which all of my documents are placed so that it makes it easier to scroll through 5 documents instead of scrolling through 67. Now, the way to create these folders is actually pretty simple. Remember when we created a new document, a new button, that folder was one of my choices in the Create New drop-down menu. So I go to Create New Folder, and it opens up a new window, and it allows me to create a folder, give it a name, and I'm going to call this one folder example. And I can put a description down as to what's in this folder. I can also change the color of the folder. You'll notice that in my list of folders, there are different colors associated with each folder. And I do that up here by this drop-down menu to the right of the name of my folder. And I have a variety of different options. I can have the text be dark with a light background behind it. I can have the text be light with a dark background behind it. Or I can actually remove the color altogether if I'm working with an existing folder. So that's how I would do that. I can put a description in here. This folder contains all documents related to whatever they relate to. Then I can click on Save. Now you'll notice that it opens up that folder, but there's nothing in the folder. So I've created the folder. Now I have to move the documents that I want to put into that folder in there. So to do that, I go back to my All Items view, and I look for the documents that I want to put into that folder. So I'm going to click on this document. Let's put this one in there. Let's put this one in here. Put that one in there. And I can select as many documents as I want to put into that folder. And the documents can be in more than one folder. But you probably want to keep the documents in one folder. It's just going to make it easier to organize yourself. So once I have my documents selected by putting a check mark in front of them, I go up to the Folders button across the top. Click on that, and notice how all of my folders are listed. I'm going to go down to the Folder Example, and I'm going to put a check mark in front of that folder example. Then I'm going to say Apply Changes. It's doing its thing. Tells me when it's done. 4 documents have been added to Folder Example. Now, it's important to note that even though you have moved these documents into a folder, they are still going to appear in your All Items list. It's not like you're actually physically moving them. You're creating a copy and putting them into that new folder. You'll notice when you look at the All Items list that those documents that I chose now have the name of the folder behind them. Folder example, and all these other documents have the names of the folders that they are in. Now I can go to my folder example down here, and I have my 4 documents in there. I don't have to scroll through 67 different documents to find the 4 that I might be looking for related to the particular topic. And when I click on my folders, if I go out of Google Docs, which I'll do here, the default is to save the last view that I had. So I have made my view my folders instead of all items. I'm going to close Google Docs, and now I'm going to go back into it, and it's going to open to my folders view. Much easier for me to find particular documents if they're in folders rather than scrolling through all of those different items. That's how you organize yourself and your documents, by using folders in Google Docs.